I'll look that up, see if that map exists. That'd be cool. Well,
we could just ask Nick Cage. I'm sure he knows where it is.
Hey, Nick, we're looking for the Declaration of Independence and also this map that Stalin and FDR and Churchill. Nick, have you seen them?
It's in the Smithsonian. You'll find it there. Where, I don't know, but there in that building.
Nick, did you know that they actually have pins for what they smoked? So like FDR would be a pipe and Churchill would be a cigar. Did you know that?
No. Makes sense, though.
Do you know where the Declaration of Independence is?
It's in Tennessee. That's dumb. That was so dumb.
No, it wasn't.
But you merely adopted the dog. I was born in it.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road back again. Your heart is true. You're the proud and the confident.
Let's go, Nate.
And if you threw a party,
That's right.
invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say,
Solo.
for being a friend.
Well. That was delightful.
Those Golden Girls know how to rock.
Yeah. Thank you for being my friend, Cooley.
You know what? You're welcome.
It's like waiting for something more substantial. But,
Yeah, I know. Thank you for being a friend of me,
yeah.
sir.
So, welcome to the Twerk Ethic Show, everyone. I'm JT. This is Cooley,
What up?
and we're a weekly podcast,
Yep.
but we also do music covers sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a rock cover that we did in tribute of Betty White when she passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what you're thinking. The people are probably thinking, hey, I thought you weren't doing songs anymore.
Yeah.
Well, this was our rendition, and YouTube did not copyright claim this one.
Nope.
So we decided to use this one. But yeah, that was
We're too original.
that version cracks me up.
Yeah.
It cracks me up because it's the kind of covers I want to do,
Yeah.
where it's like Golden Girls is just the furthest thing from rock.
True.
And that's why it's great to be
Well,
rocked.
Before I started that song, I had the original in my head. So when I hit play,
And it's
I thought I was going to go, ding, 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 but no.
It's like, thank you for being my friend.
So I was laughing right off the bat. I totally forgot it was our version.
It's funny. That is already a theme song to a very popular show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, we already said it. Golden Girls.
Mm-hmm.
But, that could actually be the theme song for this show. It's not going to be because that's
No.
stupid.
Right.
But the vibe,
It could be.
it could be.
Yeah.
It could be. So maybe we should write a theme for the Twerk Ethic Show. Like,
Yeah.
you know how we have the 80s one? We have
Uh-huh.
the epic score that
Right.
we played last week. Maybe we write a cheesy Golden Girls, like TV theme-ish
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
that's like super corny
Yeah.
for the show.
Also,
Was
we
that
should
a-
write.
Was that a no?
No.
Okay. All
No,
right.
I said also because I want to do that.
Okay.
But also, just do one that's just, just rock and roll.
Yeah.
And, maybe riff rock, maybe a little Rage
Yeah.
Against the Machine-ish
Yeah.
type opening.
I'm down for,
That'd be awesome.
Because that's kind of like
You and I could do that all day.
well, that's what this day in history is,
Yeah, exactly.
which is what we're going to do today, people.
Uh-huh.
We haven't done this day in history in a while, and today is going to happen.
Yup.
If you look around us, a little bit of a spoiler alert.
History.
I've said spoiler alert twice. A
Mhm.
little bit of spoiler alert.
Yeah,
That's 3 times.
right.
Spoiler alert 4. Go ahead.
Spoiler alert.
5.
Right.
World War II. There's a World War II book behind you.
Spoiled.
The American Heritage New History of World War II, written by Stephen Ambrose, who also wrote Band of Brothers. For the podcast listeners, Nate is petting
Oh,
the
yes.
book.
Sorry, Spotify, Apple,
Yeah.
Podcast Land.
Yeah. So there's that one.
I'm so funny.
He wrote The Band of Brothers, which was maybe the best war media thing I've ever seen. Have you seen it all the way through?
Oh, yeah. Several times. Maybe not several, but at least twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a long series.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Uh,
so good.
and I'll pause there because we'll get more into World War II later.
Okay.
But also behind us, we have the D-Day book, which is great, fairly long. You better be into D-Day when you read this book. Also written by Stephen Ambrose.
No way.
Yeah, that was the wrong book you were petting.
Right. Well, you said behind us, so I just went for it again.
we already did your book behind you.
Sorry.
And then also we have a book called 1944.
Yeah.
Because that is that is the year for this day in history.
Mm.
So if you're wondering why these books are here, we're going to get to it.
Yep.
So if you like World War II, it's going to get real good
Yeah.
up in this show
And
today.
And we're going to read every one of them on this show today.
we
So sit back and relax.
we're going to read line by line
Yeah.
all 3 books.
Uh-huh.
And it'll probably be done into August.
Yeah.
This episode.
Probably.
Yeah. So before we do that,
Mm.
I'd like to remind everyone how great you are. Nate is really great.
Oh, I thought we were going to play How Great Thou Art.
I don't know if that'd be okay.
It's fine.
But would be funny. No,
Yeah.
in all seriousness, it's time for the weekly check-in.
Oh.
Hey, Cooley, time for your weekly check-in.
Time for you.
That's right, I'm ready. JT's got a question for you.
I do.
Answer it truthfully or you'll be a liar. Answer yes or no.
Or maybe.
Check one.
All right. So, new listeners, we started this in January.
Mm-hmm.
So, at this point, I don't think it is still a diet because we started this thing
Yeah.
where we were checking in with you weekly to find
Mhm.
out simply, are you doing more good, more positive for your health than negative?
Yep.
And you have lost weight.
Mm-hmm.
You have reached a state where you feel better as a human. You have more energy.
It's true.
You're more present. You don't hit your microphone like I just did.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good things have happened for you.
Yes.
And here we are in May, the middle of May,
Right.
and you're still doing it. So to me, it's no longer a diet.
Yeah. Right.
It's a lifestyle change.
It's a lifestyle. For sure. Because a couple weeks ago, not going to lie, I ate kind of bad.
Yeah.
Drank some sugary sodas, and I felt horrible.
But now you know you have a reference
Yes.
of like, I don't need to feel like this.
And I used to feel like that every day
Mhm.
for the past few years or whatever. So now I see that in hindsight.
Right.
Now moving forward,
Yes.
I know what to expect when I eat bad, and I don't want to feel that way because it kind of sucks,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. And
And the show will be canceled if you do that.
true. And plus, I want to be in the magazine where they rank the top 50 sexiest men alive.
That's a manifestation right there. I think it's going to happen.
I think so.
I think it's really going to happen.
Yeah.
What a bunch of jerks. The audience is a bunch of jerks. Not you guys listening.
How dare they?
Not the podcast listeners. You guys are great. YouTube,
Right.
YouTube, you're great. It's our studio audience that you can't see.
Unless you laughed.
You know what, studio audience? Be a little bit more supportive.
Yeah.
That's better.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Screw all of
Wow.
you. You, go home. You're cool.
Yeah.
All three of y'all go home.
Yeah. You in the back. You leave with him right now because he's controlling the audience.
All right. So
you a-hole.
we do have the question.
Okay.
All right. Been doing this
Oh, we
since
haven't answered
May.
it. Yeah, that's right.
Have you done more this week, not last week,
Mm-hmm.
good for your body or for your health than bad?
Yes.
Woo!
And the studio audience left.
That's what I was doing on purpose. It's like the audience was gone. Awesome, man.
Just left.
Well,
Yeah.
friend to friend, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I can tell a difference. I'm happy that you're doing it more as a lifestyle change
Yeah.
because that's the only way it
Me
lasts.
too.
It's kind of one of those things you have to be okay with doing forever. Or
Yeah.
you're just going to give up one day. And
Plus, I don't want to be a diabetic in my 40s
that's true.
or ever.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good goal.
I'm Wilfred Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about diabetes.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So nice job, my friend.
Thanks, dude. Thank you, JT.
JT. That's pretty good. All right. So now it's time for
Uh-oh.
Mr. Alex Morrison's
Oh, here
real
we go.
estate. What was your joke with real estate? For real estate.
For real estate.
For real estate.
You get more, son, with his for real
Get
estate.
more, son. Real estate. It's time for Alex Files.
Hit it. It is now time for the Alex Files.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. The X being capitalized.
Of course. Oh. Kind of like the X Files.
No,
Dummy.
it's the Alex Files.
But the X is capitalized like the X Files.
Just a coincidence. Alex Files.
Boom. I love it. So today we have an Alex file that is a video.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that because I could see the attachment
Yeah.
or the link was a YouTube.
Yeah.
But to remind everyone, Alex sends us something. We don't know what it is. Could be a word, could be a picture, could be a video. We do know it's a video today, but we don't know what it is. And he just says, I dare y'all
Uh-oh.
to cover this. So
Oof.
take it away.
All right. The files are inside this phone. I just need to get it open. Oh, wait. It's digital.
You have to go to the Genius Bar to do that.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, here we go.
Sounds like a
Wow.
Chopped, like Food Network.
It's a show.
Is this NASCAR or Formula One?
Yeah.
This would be kind of hard to cover.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good by
All right,
itself.
so pause it and get ready to start it over. All right.
Okay.
I'm telling you, start it, but then close your eyes and just picture like MasterChef
Oh yeah.
It's like or chopped or something. It's like
Yeah.
Formula One music could also be the something under Gordon Ramsay.
Mm-hmm.
Try it again. Today's episode, we're going to be cooking lamb chops with asparagus and garlic bread.
This week on Hell's Kitchen,
Yeah.
the chefs try to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Will they do it?
Today we're doing broccoli and Dijon mustard.
Are you mad? Mad! You're crazy!
I love it, dude. I was thinking about this. Because my wife watches, like you, my wife watches a ton of cooking shows.
Yeah.
And she's now watching, if you're not watching it, you have to watch this. She's now watching TOC, Tournament of Champions.
Oh.
Have you watched this?
Uh-uh.
Oh my gosh, dude. I actually like it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, the way they do it is kind of like sports. It's more like wrestling, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
But they have this March Madness type bracket,
Okay.
and they are the top chefs in the world.
Right.
And they're all competing against each other.
Oh,
With
wow.
a randomizer. And it's hosted by a guy, was it Fury? Yeah. It's hosted by him.
Okay.
And this is like the third time they've done it. The third, I wouldn't say season, third year in a row.
Okay.
And dude, these chefs, what cracks me up is like, I tell Sarah Carter all the time, I'm like, they're just making up words. Because they'd be like, well, today I cooked and they just say these foods.
Right.
But it's like, I've never heard that word in my life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's a lot of
there's like a lot of food that I don't know of.
Yeah.
But it is exhilarating because they have like a heavyweight belt, like wrestling or boxing,
Yeah.
and it gets real hype, and it's a legitimate championship or a tournament bracket.
Oh, wow.
I think you should watch it. It's called Tournament of
I like
Champions, TOC.
I like the idea anyway.
But this Alex file reminded me of cooking shows.
Oh, yeah,
Which-
for sure.
Who knew we would go from Formula One to cooking shows?
Oh, dude, yes.
But thanks, Alex.
I actually met Wolfgang Puck,
That's right.
and it was the week of the Super Bowl in Atlanta. So he was at the Georgia Aquarium. And
He was in Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. Mighty Pucks.
Mighty Ducks.
But yeah, he's a world-renowned chef. He's like best friends with Gordon Ramsay. It's ridiculous. And but I saw him in there, and I was like, oh my gosh, chef! And he was like, how are you doing, sir? And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, man, this is awesome.
That's awesome, dude.
So we got to eat his food and a little Peking duck, and I was like, come on,
Wow.
so good.
It's awesome, dude. Well, thank you, Alex, and thank you, Wolfgang Puck.
More, son.
Thank you, sir. All right. Now we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for...
Where are we?
Come on!
Sometimes people die, and sometimes people don't. Yeah.
You know, the lyrics, just to repeat,
Yeah.
are this day in history.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes people die.
Sadly.
Sometimes people don't.
Not sadly.
Yeah. It's not that we're making fun of anyone dying.
No.
It's just what history happens
It's
to
what
be.
history is.
History is.
History.
History, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got something today that I think is pretty cool.
Okay.
And you wouldn't think this because it's a date that it does not live in infamy.
No.
So, but today, which is May 17th,
Okay.
1944,
Yeah.
right? General Eisenhower sets D-Day to be June 5th, not 6th,
No.
as we all know well, me and you do,
Yeah.
June 6th is D-Day.
Right.
Did you know that he had previously said it for the 5th?
Maybe. I just forgot.
Okay. Well, he said it for the 5th, but due to bad weather,
Oh, that's right.
it was postponed.
Yeah.
Because the thought was, A, Nazi planes were grounded
Yeah.
because of this. And then B, I guess it would just affect the overall operation,
True.
which was called, well, actually, the naval part was called Operation Neptune.
Oh, really?
But the whole invasion, I guess, was called Operation Overlord, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty awesome.
you don't get more like BA than
No.
what you gonna name your operation? Overlord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Neptune was
I like
the naval portion. That's what that was called.
Okay.
So I have a couple of fun facts in here that I wanted to speak off, but feel free to jump in
All right.
however you feel necessary.
Okay.
So, nearly 156,000 Allied troops crossed the English Channel, which is
Really?
insane. So, in a fleet, they like all of them were in a fleet of more than 5,000 amphibious ships with 1,213 warships defending them at sea.
Okay.
The Allies also dispatched approximately 4,000 bombers
Mm.
and 3,700 fighter bombers to hammer the enemy's coastal defenses.
Sheesh.
That's a lot of stuff.
Uh-huh.
The other thing that was interesting to me,
You dropped a bomb on me, baby.
the other thing I thought was interesting was that since it was launched, Operation Overlord,
Yeah.
the U.S. military had to ship 7 million tons of supplies.
Okay.
7 million. 7 million of anything is a lot,
My brain's on fire. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Those are just 7,000 matches.
Right.
I mean, 7 million matches.
Yeah, it's a lot of matches.
7 million of anything,
Yeah.
but it was 7 million tons. Speaking of tons,
Mm-hmm.
there's a school bus backing up. Son of a mother.
God.
Including in that 7 million tons was 450,000 tons of ammunition.
Sheesh.
That's a lot of bullets.
Yeah. Nobody's running out of bullets anytime soon.
No. I think they're probably out now
Well, yeah.
because that was quite a bit of time ago.
Yeah. True.
Just to remind people, today in history is not D-Day. It's
No.
just the day that they set the date to be June 5th,
Right.
but then weather caused them to be June 6th.
Yeah.
This one's interesting to me. Eisenhower smoked up to 4 packets. I spelled that wrong. He smoked up to 4 packs of Camel cigarettes a day, months running up to D-Day. Homeboy was a
Jeez.
little stressed.
Yeah.
4 packs of cigarettes
Mm-hmm.
a day for a couple months.
They used to call him Old Chimney. It's not true.
No, that's a lot of cigarettes, though.
Yeah. I would say so. Nervous much?
Yeah. Have a smoke. Smoke them if you got them.
Of course I
Well,
would
I got 4 packs.
I would be too. I don't even smoke. I'd just be
Yeah,
like,
because like I'm pretty sure
just give me a cigarette.
I mean, people can check me, but I'm almost positive that he just about quit because he disagreed with this. Like he didn't think him and Churchill were butting heads,
Right.
and he didn't agree with the way that they were doing D-Day. He almost quit, but he didn't.
Wow.
Thankfully.
Mm.
And then the last thing that I think is just fascinating.
Yeah.
During the preparation and execution of D-Day, around 17 million maps were drawn up.
All right.
Again, how do you wrap your mind around something like that? 17 million maps?
So I'm laughing. Yeah, because nope, not
No.
computing.
Yeah. I'd like to know how many different people drew maps. So, like, is there one guy who did 100,000?
Yeah.
Or did, I'd like to know.
I don't know.
One thing I do think is cool is, like, I think I've told you this. Back in the day when they would get together,
Mm-hmm.
the Allies, you'd have Roosevelt, Mr. FDR, Churchill, and Stalin.
Mm-hmm.
They would go to a war room and they, would put pins on the map of
That's
where
right.
they're going to go.
Yeah.
And in order to tell, like, which ally was going where, they did it with what you smoked. So
Oh.
FDR was a cigar, and no, FDR was a pipe.
Okay.
Churchill was obviously a cigar,
Right.
and Stalin was a cigarette.
Mm.
And so you would look at this war room map, and you would know which ally was where by what they smoked. So if you saw a cigar on the map, you're like, oh, that's Churchill.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it is kind of awesome.
That's at least one of the 17 million maps.
Right. Yeah. Wonder if that map's still in like a museum or something.
I don't know, like just kept the pins in it or whatever.
Yeah. Or just have the map
Yeah,
on its own.
I think I read this in,
that'd be cool to see.
I read this in the book called No Ordinary Time. by
Oh, okay.
Doris Kearns Goodwin.
Yeah.
It was awesome, but I'll look that up, see if that map exists. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Well, you went.
Or we could just ask Nick Cage. I'm sure he knows where it is.
Hey, Nick, we're looking for the Declaration of Independence and also this map that Stalin and FDR and Churchill. Nick, have you seen them?
It's in the Smithsonian. You'll find it there. Where, I don't know, but there in that building.
Nick, did you know that they actually have pins for what they smoked? So, like, FDR would be a pipe and Churchill would be a cigar. Did you know that?
No. Makes sense, though.
Do you know where the Declaration of Independence is?
It's in Tennessee.
All right.
Somewhere.
So, you and I
Mm-hmm.
have both been to probably one of the best museums ever,
Mm-hmm.
which is the World War II Museum
Yup.
in New Orleans.
Yes.
New Orleans. New Orleans.
Nolans.
Uh,
Amazing.
Go Tigers. Actually, he won't be saying that anymore. Well,
That's right.
yeah.
Did he get fired?
Yeah, he was hired by somebody, I think. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But he's definitely not at LSU. But he got his natty. He's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
But that, I think, did y'all go didn't you go before I went? Like, you went well before I did. Or did you go after?
Did I? When did you go?
There's no telling. But I swear y'all went and you told me about it. I'd already known about the museum, but I felt like maybe you went before I did. It doesn't really.
I don't think so, because
Okay.
I remember you telling me about it.
Okay.
And then when we went there, I was like, Prisbis, we need to go to
Okay.
this, because I remember Jeremy telling me about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went first.
Okay. Well, it is
It wasn't that long.
it was
afterwards.
unbelievable. Like, I have never been to a museum that was this good. And I mean, I like museums, but
Unreal.
Sarah Carter and I, we put about 5 hours of our time dedicated, which
Mhm.
meant, of course, we're going to see the whole museum.
Yeah.
Well, we only got to 3 out of 5 of the buildings. And
Yeah.
I don't even read through everything. It's just
Mhm.
this big. It's so detailed.
Yeah.
It's curated by, well, it was curated by Stephen Ambrose, the guy who wrote the books that are here with us today.
Yeah. Mhm.
Band of Brothers guy, Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
and Mr. Steven Spielberg.
Heard
All
of him.
3 of them
Heard of him.
put together this museum. And so that's when I knew this is going to be ridiculously good.
Yeah.
And every single detail of this museum, like you buy your ticket unless you're a World War II vet, then it's free.
Yeah, which is great.
And of course, military gets a huge discount too. Not free, but pretty big.
Right.
I think it's like $22 for civilian,
Yeah.
and they give you a digital dog tag,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the coolest thing for me.
Yeah, that was.
And it's an actual person that served in World War II.
Yeah.
And so when you go to each exhibit, you scan this dog tag, and they're like, well, during this time, you were still training in Columbus, blah, blah, blah. Or this time, you were on the Pacific Theater, or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then
Very cool.
just there was like a entire building that was the home front. It's like an actual house. And
Yeah.
you would open up the kitchen drawer, and it would show you like what your rations are for the day. And that's so cool.
Yeah.
What did you see that you were like, wow, this is amazing?
Well, going into the basically there wasn't a jungle, but it was
Well,
the European side, and then there was the naval side
yeah,
in the Pacific.
yeah,
Going through, like, you're in a giant submarine going through
Yeah.
all there, and then you were in the European side, just like, just replicas of tanks sitting there and jeeps and
all the guns.
oh my gosh. And that, and I remember like having figurines of Army men representing, like, what was it, 10,000 soldiers of that one,
Yeah, yeah,
and just how many were on the wall. And I was just like, goodness gracious, you talk about numbers just all lined up
Yeah.
there, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. I'm just like, whew.
yeah.
So just to see the scale of how big this war was.
70 million people died. I think a lot of people don't realize that that's a real number.
Yeah.
70
For sure.
million people. I think 23 million of those people were Russian, by the way.
Wow.
23. I think
Yeah.
they were the biggest combination of people that died.
Gosh.
6 million were Jews.
Yeah.
We being Americans only lost like 400,000, which is a lot, but that's still
Well,
not
yeah.
even as much as the Civil War.
No.
Um,
Well, compared to 23 million,
yeah,
I mean, gracious.
yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
The scale of this war is impossible to get your mind around.
Yeah.
Just when you think you've understood this one part, there's like that leads you to something else. And I've read a lot. I've watched a lot of documentaries. I've went to the museum, and there's
Yeah.
just so much stuff I can't wrap my mind around.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unbelievable. 17 million maps were drawn. This is insane.
Yeah.
7 million tons of supplies.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Ridiculous.
If you can put it in your schedule, go to the World War II Museum in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's
Great.
freaking believable.
It's the best museum I've ever been to.
Same.
And I've been
And
to
to me,
a
it's not
lot.
even. To me, it's not even close.
No.
It's not even close.
No. Just the scale
Yeah.
of the museum.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And just a fun fact, it was built in New Orleans
Yeah.
because of the Andrew Higgins factory.
Mm.
So Eisenhower said that Andrew Higgins is the person that won the war because he had the Higgins boats.
Yeah.
That
Is that the one with the door in the front?
yeah. So it was a shield until it opened
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And he actually invented that like for hauling logs
Oh, really?
through the bayou or whatever.
Yeah.
And
That makes
he
sense.
wasn't successful at all until the military obviously gave him a lot of money to do that. So
Yeah.
they decided, since his boats were sort of claimed to win the war,
Mm-hmm.
that they would open up the World War II museum
Yeah.
at the Andrew Higgins factory of
Right.
the Higgins boat. It's pretty cool.
That's, yeah. that's
Details.
awesome. Oh, yeah.
Ah,
For sure.
I love it, man. Well, there's one other thing that I think this is kind of interesting.
Mhm.
So a similar thing happened in the Civil War. So we're done with World War II.
Yeah.
you know, Civil War. We talked about this a few episodes ago where my hot dog was stolen
Right.
from Fort Sumter,
Yeah.
which was the beginning of the Civil War. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
it is believed that the start of the Civil War was supposed to be in Pensacola at Fort Pickens.
Okay.
I've been there. So
Yeah.
when we go, I'm about to go there pretty soon to the
Yeah.
beach. Actually, when this episode airs, I'm going that week. I'm going Saturday. Woo! Heck yeah!
Lucky dog.
Yeah. So, we've been to this fort. It overlooks the ocean. It's amazing. But apparently, the Confederacy was planning to attack Fort Pickens first, but rain delays
Oh.
again, bad weather.
Yeah.
And so that is weird to me that history could have been different in the sense of they would have attacked Pensacola instead of South Carolina.
Right.
That's kind of
Yeah.
fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh.
that fort later that year
Mm-hmm.
was defended by the Union. And it was one of, I want to say, one of only 4 forts that remain in Union hands.
Really?
So it's a pretty cool thing to visit. Just throwing
That would
out
be
there.
cool.
I thought it was cool.
Down there in the Gulf Shores.
That's right. Have you been there?
The Gulf? Yes.
Okay.
Pensacola? No.
Okay.
Or Fort Pickens.
What about Orange Beach?
Never been.
Okay.
I've only been to Panama and Destin.
Oh, well, Destin is very similar water.
Yeah.
You know how the water is like clear and
Mm-hmm.
nice white beaches.
Yeah.
But imagine Destin, but less busy
Yeah.
and more family.
Oh, okay.
So we stay in Perdido Key, which is right slap in the middle of Pensacola
Mm-hmm.
and Orange Beach, which is in Alabama.
Mm.
We stay right in the middle of it.
Okay.
It's just, I love it. I cannot
Nice.
wait. But I didn't know any of this until I visited Fort Pickens, and I was like,
Yeah.
that is so fascinating that like
Yeah.
literally history can change by weather.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
for
we were
sure.
going to attack Pensacola, but you know what? We can't. So
Yeah.
we'll just attack in Fort Sumter.
Yeah.
What?
They had bad service and their Wi-Fi wasn't working. So
Their
they're just like,
Wi-Fi wasn't. Yeah, they.
and the weather, I was like, my weather map app is just all messed up. That's, of course,
I can't even
The
post my
Confederacy.
story.
I killed a guy. I couldn't even film it.
Yeah, Instagrammer didn't happen.
Gram it or damn it.
Nice, dude. I got. You know what? I wrote this down. I wasn't even going to say it.
Yeah.
Bonus one.
Okay.
1970, May 17th. Someone purchased the ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz.
No way.
15 grand.
15 grand?
Mhm.
Really?
And then they donated them to the Smithsonian. But
Which has its own room, by
I-
the way.
what does?
The Ruby Slippers.
Really?
Its own room. It's in there by
I
itself.
feel like I've been there. I don't remember this, but now I'm going to have to go back. Just
There's
for
like,
this.
yeah, because like there's stuff written on the walls and
Yeah.
like about the Ruby Slippers. But in the middle of the thing, there's on the post underneath the plexiglass Ruby Slippers in there by themselves.
Wow.
They have an entire room.
I
just
brought this
dedicated
up
to
just because how much you like red shoes.
that. Yeah, I do.
Someone should have bought those ruby red slippers and gave them to Cooley.
Yeah,
You would sport those.
I probably would, and then I would sell them really quickly.
Well, my friend, this is a really great personal episode for me because of how much I love history.
Yeah,
I feel like you also love history,
I do.
especially World War II.
Yeah,
We've always had a kindred thing there.
and both of my grandfathers were in World War II.
That's amazing.
Now they weren't on the front lines, but they were in World War II.
Well,
My grandpa was stationed in India. So,
Very thankful for their service because
yeah,
that
absolutely.
was the greatest generation for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But man,
And they're all dying off.
yeah, just the whole attitude. Like at the museum, you can actually look up on YouTube.
Mhm.
They have some historians come speak. Like there's this one, is his name Rick Astor, something like that.
It is Atkinson. Rick Atkinson.
Rick, I can't remember his name.
Astrid.
Yeah, Astrid. I can't remember his name, but he wrote three, like a trilogy.
Yeah.
I've read the first one, which is called The Army at Dawn, which is about the North African attack, which is not written about very much.
Yeah.
That was fascinating, and I'm pretty sure it won the Pulitzer.
Mm.
Anyway, he actually spoke at the museum for a bunch of people, and he did this thing. I'm just getting chills thinking about it.
Yeah.
Where he was like, at the end of his thing, he was like, "Listen, this is everything I have researched,
Mhm.
but I wasn't there. So
Mm.
if you were there, would you mind standing up so we can salute you?" And these old men stood up and they just like saluted. And I was like, oh my, I mean, I just got like overwhelmed
Yeah.
with emotion
Right.
that these people are still alive.
Yeah.
There are people still alive that did this.
Mhm.
And he said, for those standing, if you feel like I've said something incorrectly, I would love to hear your side and your story because I'm always learning. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever because he didn't serve. He's just a historian, a very good one.
Right.
But he was like, hey, tell me your side.
Yeah.
I might not, there might be something I'd missed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was super cool.
Yeah. That's great, man.
Ugh.
I remember Whitestone doing something about a guy at night playing Reveille,
Oh,
or not Reveille. Is it Reveille before you go to sleep?
I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, taps.
Taps. Okay.
And he would go play it, and they would be on enemy grounds, and this one sharpshooter from the other side had him in his sights and never shot him. Like I think they became friends
Wow,
over the years.
man.
And behind enemy lines, just like and that's like a big testament of what music
For sure.
plays in our role. Because if I'm, kind of down and or whatever, I, turn on music, and it doesn't matter what it is, really.
Yeah.
I mean, John Williams is probably the best medicine,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but it's just music. You got an album of Bob Dylan up there. He a lot of people know Bob Dylan because he was a great songwriter, great musician. Well, still is. He's alive. He's not dead. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, but those stories, and when they're about that generation, it's just, I don't know. It's like, it's so heartfelt.
Yeah.
And, because, we do think that's the greatest generation. And I think we're right on
Yeah.
with that, and, so, I know both of my grandfathers were great men.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah. It's like they were just different people. And,
yeah, for sure.
There are people who I've seen disagree with that. And we're not necessarily talking about, to me, I'm not necessarily talking about everyone in that generation.
Well, yeah,
But there was definitely something different about the people who chose to serve in the army.
mm-hmm.
The women who chose to like get up and go to work with like not having skills because they weren't allowed, and then they
Right.
just go like the whole country
Yeah,
like came together in a way that is honestly I can't imagine happening again.
yeah,
Like we saw what COVID did. It's like it's kind of the opposite,
right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather not find out though. I'd rather not get into
Yeah,
a war where we have to find out what we'll do.
Right.
But anyway,
Yeah, for sure.
with that, I want you to take us out.
Speaking of the ruby slippers,
Mm-hmm.
as our friends from the land of Oz would say,
Ah.
well, bye.